Wow.
Hope they don't have a gun, but they probably do.
That kind of took me back a little bit.
We are in open session, everybody, just to let you know.
Yep.
I see you letting people in.
Well, it's 4 minutes to 9.
Yep.
All right, it looks like Jim is on and Meg is on. We can start with Nicholas or Logan, whichever order you all want to go in.
I'm open to whatever they want to do.
I know, Pat. I'm just waiting for them to.
Yeah, to answer you.
They'll come on.
So I'm walking in the hall right now. I do have Logan here and I have Eric McGuire too, if it's okay if he joins us.
Sure, of course.
Okay, I'm going to shut my camera and mic off for a minute and walk down to the conference room.
All right, thanks, Meg.
We're doing Meg's case first, looks like.
That's what I believe so.
Okay.
All right, I will get us ready to go in just a minute. All right, let me start the recording for today. Good morning, Eric. You're from Dismas, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, I remembered correctly. I'm like, I had to think about it for a minute.
Hello, Eric.
Tom, how are you?
Good, yourself?
Doing well, thank you.
Today's date is October 8th, 2024, and we are doing Rutland Probation Parole and Marble Valley Probation Parole hearings via Microsoft Teams. Please note that the entirety of today's hearings will be recorded. We will be beginning with Logan Galante. Today's date is October 8th, 2024, and we are doing Rutland Probation Parole hearings via Microsoft Teams. This is a condition modification hearing for Logan Galante. Present is Parole Board Vice Chair Pat Bushy, Parole Board members Katie Aiken and Tom Giffen, Parolee Logan Galante, Probation Parole Officer Meg Champine, Eric McGuire from the Dismas House, and Parole Board Director Mary Jane Ainsworth.
Thank you, Mary Jane. Good morning, everyone.
Because I don't think I got it back. Do you have any comments or something you're going to add?
You never gave it to me.
I sent you.
Jim talking to us?
I muted Jim. I think he's talking to somebody else.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, Logan.
Go on.
This is a condition modification hearing. So, Meg, why don't you tell us, do you want to add a condition?
Yes.
Okay. So why don't you tell us about that?
Sure. So I have a lot of detail in my request, I'm sure, as you've seen, so I'm not going to get into that as much. But Logan was placed on parole and released from jail on June 21st. He was back before the parole board on July 16th for a reprimand hearing. Things were not going well for Logan for a while. Part of the reprimand hearing, as you can remember, we had a plan for Logan to enter Dismas House. And that was honestly the best thing that could have happened for Logan. He gained a lot of support. Eric has become, I would say, a fixed mentor for Logan. He has been putting a lot of work into his case. But I would say marijuana has been the single thing that has led to continued violations and concerns for, I would say, myself, and I'll let Eric speak for him and Dismas House in general in a minute. But Logan is making an effort. He's doing better, I would say, overall. He's been in treatment, although it was a rough start at first. He did have a recommendation to go to residential treatment for marijuana, which is the first time I've had that happen, I would say, since marijuana became legal in Vermont. He did go to Valley Vista. He did complete. He's been abstinent from marijuana since completing. He's returned to Dismiss House. But the whole time he's been very fixated on marijuana. Prior to going to residential treatment, he was having curfew violations. He was struggling when he did attend certain obligations because he was extremely high. He was not paying attention. He was not charging GPS. He was not maintaining appointments. It was, I would say, just really, really problematic for him. I would say this is the most severe case I've had involving marijuana since I've become a probation officer. I've never had this many issues come from marijuana use. And so I think this is the first time I've ever asked for a condition modification around marijuana. This is definitely a case where I would support it. Since Logan has become abstinent from marijuana, so many things have improved for him. He started attending classes at CCV. He's been maintaining his curfew. He's helping out around Dismiss House. He's maintaining my appointments. He's clear-minded when he attends those. He has a treatment plan right now that is abstinence-based, but the hope is we want him to maintain that after treatment is complete as well, so that he can continue to do well moving forward. So that is why we're asking for the condition modification. And I'll give Eric a chance to speak on that if that's okay.
Sure. Eric, good morning.
Good morning. I can attest to everything that Meg has mentioned. The beginning days of Logan at the house were a challenge, to say the least, really incapable of being able to respond to any of the relevant services that were being implemented. And all of that had to do with the fact that his THC use was out of control to the point of chaos. We really put in a maximum effort. Thank you to one of our great providers, BPA, in this community that really have a good connection with Valley Vista. We were able to expedite him down to treatment. They accepted his case there. Upon his return, his engagement to relevant services has gone up exponentially. His active participation with IOP, active participation with the providers that are providing a significant amount of support, his adherence to what he needs to do at school, as well as his responsibilities, obligations, and commitments with Dismiss have gone up exponentially. Do I believe that Logan has arrived? No, not at all. But you completely see the different change in the outcome of what Logan can accomplish when he's not using any level of THC. So I completely support if this stipulation can get put into place. I think it'll have a great benefit for this young man's future.
Thank you. Well, Logan, you seem to be an entirely different person without marijuana.
Yes, ma'am.
So how long have you been away from marijuana? How long have you been abstinent from it?
Since the day I got out of Valley Vista.
Okay, and when was that?
I think
The what?
I'm sorry, I don't remember.
Okay. I just wonder how long it's been since you've used.
I would say about a month.
Okay. And how does that make you feel?
Good. I feel clear-minded.
Why would you go back to using? If you feel clear-headed and functionable, why would you go back using?
I wouldn't say I would. I definitely still think about it, but like, I feel better. Like, I don't know, I just feel better. Like, I feel clear-minded. I feel like I'm not so high out of my mind that I can't function right. Like, my relationships are better with everybody.
Okay. Is that your fidget spinner that you're using?
Yes, ma'am, sorry.
Okay, no, that's okay. A lot of people need that. It sort of calms them down, and that's what I wondered if that's what you were doing, trying to calm yourself down.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Tom, questions?
A couple things. First of all, Meg, I've never seen a report so long as yours on marijuana uses. And Logan, one of the comments that I got from Eric was about point of chaos. You feel like you were like out of control?
I definitely smoked a lot. Like I smoked more than I definitely should have. Like I was getting really, really high to the point where, like I said, I couldn't function right. I was just so high that it was like being incoherent. Like I was there, but I wasn't.
Yep, I got that from Meg's report. How do you feel about having a condition about no marijuana uses on your paroles?
I mean, honestly, if we're being honest, I smoked weed my entire life. So like I can't lie that I say I don't like, I do like to smoke, but it is for the better that I don't smoke. Because if I do, it's just gonna bring me back down the same path, and I don't want to. I just want to better my life and get everything done with.
You didn't answer my question though. How do you feel about that condition?
I can't lie, not very good, but like I
Okay.
said, it's for the better.
No, the honesty is certainly worthwhile, but you know, the condition is something you're not that thrilled about. Now you have support from Megan and Eric. Eric, is he working or anything around Dismas or?
No, not at this time, because I think it's vitally important that he continues to stay engaged and complete his IOP, which is several days a week and several hours. To also make sure that he's participating with his counselors and also with other obligations and commitments that are getting them healthier and putting them in a better position to maintain gainful employment. So I believe it should be at least another month or so before he begins to start. Let's make sure we're getting the fidelity in place to getting them healthy.
Absolutely.
No, you certainly have some support there, Logan, so I have no further questions.
Thank you, Tom. Katie?
I definitely agree. I think right now, treatment and maintaining your sobriety is your job. That's your employment right now. That's where your focus needs to be. So I definitely agree with that. But one of the things that I definitely know is that when someone uses that much marijuana, they're trying to numb themselves from something. They're trying to not feel things and think about things. Do you feel like that was part of your reason for using so much marijuana?
That was the whole reason.
Yeah, I assumed. So I'm hoping that with your treatment, with your substance use treatment, you're also getting some treatment with trauma or any of those mental health issues that you're also struggling with, because it sounds like there's some co-occurring things for you going on.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you working with that in treatment as well?
Trying to, yes.
Good. Good. I know that that's a really long, hard road to work through, but I think the more that you're working on that at the same time, the easier your sobriety is going to come down the road and maintaining it. So I definitely encourage that for you. That's all that I have.
Thank you. If there are no further questions, what's the wish of the board?
I'll make a motion that we put additional condition of number 18 that such condition to Logan's parole that we shall not purchase, possess, or use marijuana while on parole, that you must submit to a urine test when required.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to add condition number 18, which is you may not purchase, possess, or use marijuana while on parole, and you must submit to a drug test, urine test, if requested. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. It is unanimous. So that will be added to your parole agreement, Logan.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
wish you all the best.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Meg, I'll have his amended parole agreement over to you in just a few minutes.
Okay.
All right. Good morning, Jim. Sorry that I muted you a little bit ago.
Worries. I didn't realize I was unmuted, and I started hearing myself.
Oh,
And I
okay.
was about to do it, and then you did it.
Ah.
I
We might.
don't see Nicholas.
Okay.
He was going to attend remotely. He's got medical stuff going on to where we didn't want him in the office, so
Okay.
he was going to attend remotely, but I don't see him on there unless he's in the lobby. I sent him the link.
He's not, but we could sit tight until after this next hearing, and then we can talk about maybe rescheduling him for next month.
Yep, we could certainly do that.
Okay.
He verified the email that he got the link the other day, so not sure.
Okay. So board, we're gonna have Alicia Wilkins next.
Okay.
Can I have a brief breakout room with her first, please?
Of course.
Thanks.
How am I gonna do that? Am I supposed to
You don't
leave
do
my
anything,
cue?
Marge. You just have to get up. Or
I
she
just
can
have
call
to-
me on my cell, whatever's better for you.
I can step out for a minute, I guess.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. Kick me out of my office. She can. She'll stay. We'll leave.
Thank you. So Alicia, you don't have to do anything. Just hang tight and don't say anything yet.
All right, that should be
Thanks,
opening
Marge.
now.
Okay, thanks.
MJ, do you have Logan's form
Yeah, I
open?
have him all set.
Oh, okay. Didn't know if I checked granted.
No, I got it all. You did, but I was working on it.
Oh, okay.
I just was when we were talking about it earlier, I opened the form and then realized I still had it open, so I just
Okay.
did it like I would if Dean was chairing.
No. Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
Because that's how I do. I do paperwork in the background while Dean is chairing.
Oh. You want me to not do paperwork?
No, you're fine doing paperwork. I just habit
Okay.
just kept going because that's what I do. The only thing I don't do when Dean is chairing is denials,
Okay.
because I
I
copy
got
his violation findings right out of his speech at the end, because he
Oh.
reads what he writes.
Yes.
I almost called Eric McGuire, Representative McGuire, for a minute.
He would have answered to it.
I know he would have. I've testified in front of him before.
I have you on my list to watch there, the 19th, I think it is, but so, but
So Jim, while they're in a breakout room, if you can't get a hold of Nicholas, just let me know. He's a minimum hearing, so if we need to, we can move him wherever.
Yeah, no problem. I'm trying to get
Yeah,
hold of him
that's
right now.
fine. Or he can, yeah.
I think he's actually at work. I think he's supposed to be at work.
Okay.
So he may have forgotten, but I don't
Okay.
know.
We'll figure it out.
My daughter safely got out of Florida last night. She's right in the path.
Yeah, it's crazy.
my neighbor, they're snowbirds and they're heading back to Florida on Friday. I guess they're not going to be, so.
No. Amy ended up flying to Kentucky.
Yeah, they should be hit twice like that. It's pretty bad.
Yeah. I'm hoping she's got a house left when it goes through.
Yeah, my
She
brother
wanted
has
she
friends in
wanted
the
me to go-
Keys, and then
Yeah.
they just barely are recovering from the last one. trying to fix, and this will probably wipe it out.
Yeah, Amy wanted me down there last week so she could help her friends who got inundated with Helene, but I ended up having COVID and couldn't go, so it's a good thing I didn't go because I'd be down there right now.
Yeah, that's gonna
Crazy.
be, yeah, this is a horrible thing.
Yeah, somebody I went to high school with lives in Fort Myers. She said she's headed over to Homestead, Florida, but she thinks her house is fine because it's inland far enough.
Oh, that's good.
The water temperature is 101 degrees. Unbelievable. That's my, yep,
On the Gulf Coast?
We're right there along the edge of Florida. My sister-in-law was down yesterday. They go down there, and she was saying how it was as warm as their hot tub.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Amy's in St. Pete, but she's not right on the ocean, so she doesn't get the, you know, the wave surges, but sure gonna get the wind.
Yeah, I know they're worried about the surges and the debris flying. I heard this morning that they've got 24-hour crews doing debris pickup in Tampa.
Just so it doesn't fly around.
Yep. And my son was 100 miles away from all that damage in North Carolina. He said they didn't have a lot of wind. They didn't have a lot of rain. They had a lot of wind.
They had a lot of wind.
But the rain, that's just 100 miles is not that far in North Carolina.
No.
But
I think they said 12 inches of rain they're supposed to get in some parts of Florida from Milton.
That's
scary.
It is scary.
I would never live in. That's another reason not to live in Florida, I guess. One of the big ones.
That's what Dean and I were just talking about.
I'm headed to Bermuda on Saturday, so we'll see what that looks like.
Hey, Mary Jane.
Yep.
I just got off the phone with Nicholas. He's trying to. He is at work. He's trying to log in.
Okay.
So I don't know if you see him in the lobby at all.
Okay, I'll
he's having
keep an eye out.
technical difficulties.
Okay, I'll keep an eye out for him.
Okay.
And we'll do this. Marge is going to be in court, so we'll do this next hearing, and then we'll see if he's made it in by the time it's over.
Yep.
They're on their way back.
Okay.
From the breakout room.
Hi there, we're back.
Okay.
So I don't know, we have a motion to continue. I don't know if you want us to be on the record for this, MJ, or?
I'll just do a short intro so we can put it for the file.
Sure.
Today's date is October 8th, 2024, and we are going to be hearing a continuance request for Alicia Wilkins parole violation hearing. Go ahead, Jill.
Thank you. So we're asking that Ms. Wilkins' parole violation this morning please be continued. And I think I can speak for Marge that she joins me in this request. Ms. Wilkins would like the opportunity to seek some much needed mental health treatment within the next 30 days and come back before you all then having received that treatment.
So you know a Sean Davis from the jail? He said he applied for Casella's.
And Marge, you agree to this?
Yes, I agree to this. I think that some of what's driving her behaviors has to do with her mental state.
Okay. Board members, do you have any objections?
I have no objection to a continuance for 30 days.
I have no objections.
Okay. It's unanimous. We will continue Alicia Wilkins' parole board hearing, violation hearing.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
I'll see you tomorrow. No, I won't. I won't see you tomorrow. I'll see you in December. Or no, I might see you Friday.
Next, do we not have any violations hearing Wednesday tomorrow?
I don't.
No. No. Oh, tomorrow we have. Oh, okay. Tomorrow we do have a private attorney. Gotcha.
Oh, right. Okay.
And Friday we have a couple of PC bail hearings.
Oh, and you might have one with me if I can get my act together. So I'll see y'all soon. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
All right, so we are like a half hour ahead of schedule. I'm gonna see if I can get the facility on with because I see Nick Daigle's here with Bernard Mitchell first. Just because I have a PO here and it's gonna take me a little bit more to get private attorneys.
Right. Sounds like a good plan, MJ.
And I have not seen yours come on, your person come on yet, Jim.
He's literally on the phone right now.
Okay.
Hang on. I don't. Could it work with if he was like on speakerphone?
If the board wanted to do speakerphone, I could call him. Could you sit tight for just a second? I've got a call coming in.
Yep.
I got a download. Wait, actually, I think there's a different one right here.
Sorry about that, everybody.
No, you're fine.
So did we want to try to call him on the phone? I didn't know. That's kind of where I was at. Nicholas.
Hang on 1 second, Nick.
Okay.
If I give you his number, Mary Jane, can that work?
If the board is okay with it, I don't know if the board decided.
Go ahead and talk, Nick.
I don't have any objection.
Okay. So what's Nick's phone number and I can just call him in?
Okay. It's 802.
Yep.
552. 82. What number should I give them, Nick? Yep. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna hang up with you, Nick, and they're gonna call you. Okay. It is 802-236-6378.
Okay. I will call him and we'll get him in.
Perfect.
Yep, not a problem.
Yeah, he's having all sorts of issues.
Hello?
Good morning. Is this Nicholas? Good morning. Is this Nicholas HODGIN?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay, good morning. It's Mary Jane Ainsworth from the Parole Board. I got you in the hearing room with everybody, and I can start your hearing.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yep, not a problem. Today's date is October 8th, 2024, and we are doing Rutland Probation Parole hearings via Microsoft Teams. This is a parole hearing for Nicholas HODGIN. Present is Parole Board Vice Chair Pat Bushy, Parole Board members Tom Giffen and Katie Aiken. The offender Nicholas HODGIN is on the telephone. Probation Parole Officer Jim BENNICK and Parole Board Director Mary Jane Ainsworth.
Thank you, Mary Jane. Good morning, Nicholas.
Good morning.
Have you seen a copy of the parole summary?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes, I
Jim?
did.
Okay, you
Yes.
did. Okay, thank you. We're gonna ask Jim to tell us about the recommendation. We will ask you some questions and we'll give you our decision regarding parole. Okay?
Sounds good. Sounds
Okay.
good.
Thank you. Morning, Jim.
Good morning. I just wanted to know if I can leave it up to the discretion of the board. I've had Nicholas, he was released on 9/11 from jail to community supervision furlough. I have not had a ton of interaction with Nicholas. What I've had with Nicholas has been very good, but I've literally only met him 2 or 3 times since being released from jail. One day being the day that he was actually released, and 2 other meetings. Nicholas is currently working. He's actually working at Abishan Hardware as we speak. He's done fairly well. He's been responsive to me, but I don't have a recommendation at this point. I would leave that up to the discretion of the board.
Okay, thank you. So Nicholas, what benefit would parole give you?
I mean, less strict conditions, and it would just help me out a little bit, you know, and
Help you out how?
I'm not really sure, to be honest, because I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I just know that it's less strict of conditions, and that would just be a lot better.
Why? What conditions, what don't you like with furlough that you think you would gain having parole?
Really, I mean, if I wanted to go on like an out of state, because I have family out in New York, I know that I could get approval for that by my PO, and furlough you can't. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest, ma'am. I don't.
Okay. How many hours a week do you work?
I work about 33 hours a week.
Okay. And what do you do in your free time?
On my free time, I really just work out. I hang out at home, go out to dinner with some friends, and that's really it. I don't do too much.
Okay. Thank you. Katie, questions?
Good morning, Nicholas.
Good morning.
So I was reading through everything that you wrote, and you mentioned a lot about your alcohol use and how
Right.
that has contributed to a lot of issues for you. When did that start? When did you start drinking?
I think probably around like 17.
Okay. And
But I haven't.
go
Sorry.
ahead. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't been drinking at all. I've just been working, and I don't even crave for alcohol anymore because of what it did to me in the past and put me through. And I've kind of just grown up and moved. I've kind of moved on with that part of my life.
Are you doing anything for yourself now to help maintain that? Like any sort of online AA groups or anything like that? Because I know in Paul it's pretty rural, but
As of the 21st, I do have an appointment for like counseling to see if I need it. And really, I just work all the time, so I don't have much time to really even go out of my way to get it.
there's lots of
And nor
different
do I-
ways you can get counseling
I don't know, like,
around your work hours. So do you think some of the reasons for counseling sort of impacted some of this too?
I'm not 100% sure. I just know that on the 21st, I should be going to do the counseling at, I think it's 4:15 or 4:30. And personally, I'm doing it just to kind of help myself, even though I don't crave it anymore. I feel like it'll be a good thing for me.
Has it been better? How has it been better for you living in Paulet than when you were in Bennington?
It just keeps me away from everybody, and it's comfortable. It's home. My dad and my stepmom live with me, and they do very good for themselves and they don't drink, so it kind of just helps me in many ways. My dad brings me to work every morning.
So have you, so you have, do you have no wishes at this point to return to Bennington and get back involved with any of those people?
No, I have no wishes on doing that. I don't plan on doing that whatsoever.
Okay.
I changed my life around pretty much. Like,
Okay. That's all the questions I have, Pat.
Thank you.
thank you.
All right. So you said you changed your life around. What does that mean?
I don't drink anymore. I don't go out like partying and doing nothing like that. I work every single day. I just hang out at home. I don't even feel like going to Bennington and partying or doing any of that because I already know what that leads to. And I just did 7 months in jail, so it kind of gave me like a clear mindset on that I don't want to live that life anymore.
7 months is some time. You said in your letter and things that you wrote, you said that you never didn't participate in any programming or doing anything in jail. Why?
Because I already knew, because like I already knew that I wasn't gonna do it this time, just because towards the end of my last time I was trying to do better, and I mean jail's kind of like a rehab, you know, and I just felt like that was enough for me.
I mean, jail's only a rehab because you probably don't have access to alcohol, but how else is it a rehab?
I'm looking at it as you just can't drink when you go there, you know? So it's obviously it's not a place that I want to be. I just took it like I can't drink in here and this is my time to think about doing better when I come home.
Okay, there's more to life than working and going at home. What's your plan to say a couple of years from now? What are you planning on doing? You'll be out supervision in a couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking towards my own apartment right now, and I'm just saving up some money. I opened a bank account and a savings so I can put money aside, and really my goal is to get my own place, and I've been working out more, so that's something else I do. I just play my games. There's not much that I really do right now, to be honest, but my goal by the time that I'm off furlough or parole, I want to have my own place, get my license back.
Okay. We worked on getting your license back, or?
Yeah, I got a hold of it's called CRJ or whatever, and they help you do weekly or monthly payments, and I reached out.
Okay. Last question I have. Do you have any contact with your victim?
Have I? No, I haven't.
Okay. Do you know where he lives?
Oh, are you talking about the Zion?
About the person that was the victim in the case, yes.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea where he lives. I just know that he was living in Bennington. Yeah. That's about it.
Okay. I have no further questions, Pat.
Thank you. If there are no further questions, what's the wish of the board?
I just hope that they grant. Did you ask me?
No, I was asking my board members.
Oh, sorry, guys.
No, that's okay.
I'll make a motion to grant parole to Nicholas HODGIN at this time.
I'll second.
Thank you. Wow.
I have a motion and a second to grant parole to Nicholas HODGIN at this time. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. It is unanimous. Congratulations, Nicholas.
Pat,
Thank you guys so much.
Can you hold on just 1 second before you start reading the conditions? Daniel, I see you have your hand up and you had joined.
Oh.
I think they just left. They're here for Davis's violation hearing, but go ahead, Pat. Sorry.
Okay, I didn't see anybody with a hand up.
No, it's fine. I could see they were
almost
confused.
Done. I'm sorry. It's just very important.
Go ahead, Pat. It's not for this hearing.
Oh, okay. So, Nicholas, I will tell you what your conditions are going to be. You shall not commit any act punishable by law, including violations of court orders. You're to report within 24 hours to your parole officer any contact you have with law enforcement, and you are not to act as an informant for any law enforcement agency. You're to report to your parole officer as required and notify them about any change in your work or residence. You're to allow your parole officer to visit you at home, your place of employment, or anywhere else at any time that they feel necessary, and you are not to leave the state without permission. You're to attend and participate in any program, screening, or counseling as required by your parole officer, and have the provider let DOC know how you're doing. You are not to purchase, possess, or consume alcohol while you're on parole, and submit to an alcohol test if you're asked to do one. If for some reason your parole officer wants to put you on a curfew, you would have to abide by that. They also can restrict who you associate with. So if you start hanging around some of the people that are, going to not be beneficial to you, your parole officer can put a stop to that. If for some reason they want to put you on electronic monitoring, you would have to abide by the program rules, leave it charged, no tampering. And we have a condition that is specific for domestic violence offenders, and that is you shall not have any contact with your victim through any means, and that includes letters, phone, tapes, video, visits, communication through electronic media, or any other type of social media or third-party contact unless approved in advance and in writing by your supervising parole officer. You understand these conditions?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. You are all set. Congratulations and do well.
Okay, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
All right, have a great day.
You too. Go back to work.
So Jim, I'll have his parole agreement over to you sometime this afternoon, probably. Seems he's not in the office with you right now.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll try and get him in here as soon as possible to
Okay.
get that signed.
No problem.
Thank you guys. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
All right, so I am just gonna, seems we're about 10 minutes before Levi Davis is scheduled. I wanted to just check in. Lonnie, I see that you're on, and Jesse just let me know that Andrew COYLE was released to furlough and didn't know if he was gonna be reporting there or not.
He is. He's here. Are you ready for him?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
We're gonna do Andrew COYLE next. Thanks, Jesse, for getting right back to me.
You're very welcome, MJ.
I saw Lonnie pop on, so that's why I was like, oh, maybe. And then everything aligned.
I try to have him
We
come
love
in
it when-
early so that way we can be prepared.
Good job.
Hello, everyone.
Good morning. We'll start your hearing in just a minute or two. We're just finishing pulling up some paperwork.
Okay. Yeah, I can.
I am all set.
And John, we're doing, I just saw you pop back on. We're going to do one more parole hearing before Levi Davis's. So hopefully his attorney will be on shortly.
Fine.
Okay. Today's date is October 8th, 2024, and we are doing Middlebury probation parole hearings via Microsoft Teams. This is a parole hearing for Andrew COYLE. President is Parole Board Vice Chair Pat Bushy, Parole Board members Katie Aiken and Tom Giffen. The offender, Andrew COYLE, Probation Parole Officer Lonnie Harrington, Caseworker Jesse Rose, and Parole Board Director Mary Jane Ainsworth.
Thank you, Mary Jane. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Could you remove your hat, please?
Oh, I can. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry. Not a problem.
No, that's fine. Thank you. Have you seen a copy of the parole summary?
I have. Yes.
Okay, good. We're going to ask Lonnie to tell us about the recommendation for you. We will ask you some questions and give you our decision regarding parole.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Good morning, Lonnie.
Good morning. So this is Andrew Coyle. He was released yesterday on furlough. He is currently serving for assault and robbery with a weapon. His sentence is 6 months to 7 years. He was initially engaged in the treatment program up in Burlington, and was unsuccessfully discharged from that program, had a warrant, ultimately was sentenced on it. And he was sentenced in May. He has only had one major DR when he was incarcerated. He's currently living with his mom and dad, who have been support for Andrew over the years. He previously ended his supervision on parole about 4 years ago, and has been within that time mainly compliant in the community, aside from this one charge. But he had maxed out from parole in 2020, and now has this new offense that we supervise him on. His overall score on the PIT was a moderate, but prior to he's been in compliance, and although he's only been out in the community for 1 day, he has a pretty good plan for finding employment, and he's always lived with his parents aside from being with a partner, and so that's the plan for right now. He did submit a parole plan that was attached to his parole summary.
Good. So, Andrew, you've been out 1 day.
I have, yes.
What's that feel like
It feels good to be free.
so far? Okay.
Yes.
Where are you planning on working?
I actually went back to my previous work, Vermont Tire on Wilson Road, but
Yep.
I'm planning on going back to doing mechanic work and whatnot. So I stopped at a couple other places up there, and I gotta just make some calls and send
Okay.
some emails out. But I shouldn't have a problem with that. Probably with like a week. Within a week,
Okay.
I'll have employment.
Okay. So what else are you planning on doing with your freedom?
Staying busy. I got a lot of stuff I gotta do at the house for my mom and dad. And
Okay.
then that's about it. Spending time with my fiance and kids.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you. Tom? Or Jesse, did you want to add anything?
I just want to say that while Andrew was here, other than the one DR, his behavior was exemplary. You never had a problem with Andrew. He was always willing to come forward if he had a problem, always very open in his communication. He was working while he was here, and I wish him the best of luck out there.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you, Andrew.
Questions?
Jesse, thanks for that too. Glad to know that he was doing well in the facility.
You're welcome.
So anyway, so you have a max of 2031,
I
correct?
do. Yeah.
Now you were on parole before, and how'd that go?
I maxed out from there. From parole.
I mean, how did you do on parole? Did you have any violations? Did you have any issues?
I did not. No.
No, he was in compliance when he was on parole. He wasn't on parole for very long. It was towards the tail end of his supervision.
Okay. So you have any issues with drugs or alcohol?
I did previously, but I'm
But
on the
not-
MAP program. I'm on the MAP program now, so I'm gonna stick to that.
Okay. Do you have that all? I'm assuming it's all set up. So usually it is, correct? Yeah.
Correct. Yes. I had my appointment with them today, actually.
Okay. Well, that's good. I mean, usually it's unusual to have somebody out for 1 day looking for parole. So that's kind of interesting. But,
So the parole hearing was already scheduled.
Yeah, I know.
And once he hit his minimum, didn't make sense to keep him in for that 1 day.
Absolutely not. I concur. Just got to. So other than the MAP program, what are you planning to do for your sobriety?
Stay busy with work, and I got 2 little girls, so I got 7 over my head, so I've done enough time to where it's not really where I want to be.
I think having 7 over your head, and I think that does change your perspective. So where do you see yourself in a couple of years?
I'm hoping to move to Florida, actually, because that's where my fiance's mom lives, and my 2 kids are there right now. So that's the game plan.
So you're planning to be down there in the next couple of years with
Yeah,
ICOTS or
hopefully.
something? Okay.
And working down there, yeah.
Okay. So your plan now is I read your plan that you set, what you wrote. So your plan is living with your parents and you think you'll get back to your old job and be working, and you have a plan for your sobriety, and what else do you think you need?
I mean, I'm not the kind of person that like hangs around a crowd. Like I just use drugs because that's just what I wanted to do. So I don't have an issue with like peer pressure or any of that stuff, and I don't really hang out with people. So I just gotta stay busy with focused on work and my family. More important than using drugs and going back to jail.
There's no drugs up where you are now, right?
I have no clue.
Never mind. I have no further questions, Pat.
Thank you, Tom. Katie?
Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning.
So you wrote something interesting that I noticed, and you said not keeping up with your mental health is an issue for you. You stated that that's one of your triggers.
Yeah, that's one of them. Yeah.
So the thing that concerns me is that I'm not hearing you mention anything that you're doing to help keep up with your mental health now. At least I haven't heard you mention anything about counseling or anything in pursuing that. And if that's one of your triggers, why isn't that something that you're looking into?
No, the MAP meds, that's my program with my Suboxone, is I have counseling through them too and whatnot. So, and with my mental health, I just bottle everything up. That's what I've always done. So I don't talk about my issues. So that's what I mean by my mental health.
So
my MAP program will be the one I'll have counseling through them and staying up with all that.
So I hope that you're using that counseling not just for your substance use, but also to talk about some of these other issues that you've been struggling with in terms of, because substance use is certainly something that is great to work on, but if you're not coupling that with the mental health. So, and if that's one of your triggers, that would really concern me if you're not taking a big focus on that, for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm going to take it serious. For sure.
Good. That's the only thing I have, Pat.
Thank you. If there are no further questions, what's the wish of the board?
I'll make a motion. We grant parole to Andrew COYLE at this time.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to grant parole to Andrew COYLE. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. It is unanimous. Congratulations, Andrew. I will tell you what your conditions are.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
You shall not commit any act punishable by law, including violations of court orders. You're to report to your parole officer within 24 hours any contact you have with law enforcement, and you are not to act as an informant for any law enforcement agency. You're to report to your parole officer designee as required and notify him about any changes in your work or residence. You're to allow your parole officer designee to visit you at home, your place of employment, or anywhere else at any time that they feel necessary. You're not to purchase, possess, or handle firearms or ammunition, and you're not to leave the state without permission. You're to participate in any program, screening, or counseling as required by your parole officer and have the provider let DOC know how you're doing. You're not to purchase, possess, or consume illegal drugs and or regular drugs without a prescription, and this includes no misusing prescribed drugs. And submit to a drug test if you're asked to do one. If for some reason your parole officer wants to put you on a curfew, you would have to abide by one. Also, if they want to put you on electronic monitoring, you would have to abide by the program rules, leave it charge, no tampering. You're to work and reside only where approved by your parole officer, and you're not to change your work or residence without prior approval. And we've, you evidently are going to be restricted to traveling in the following areas, but I don't know what those areas were.
It's 20 Jackson Hill Road in Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
It's the Spears Corner Store.
Oh, okay. I guess I have that. Okay, Spears Corner Store 20 Jackson Hill Road in Charlotte. Correct, Lonnie?
Yes, yeah, that's correct.
Okay. And we've added condition number 18, which is you were to have absolutely no victim contact. You understand these conditions?
I do.
Okay.
Do we have
You were all-
is there a specific victim listed somewhere, other than you shall have absolutely no victim contact?
Jesse, do you have the victim name? We got it from the Saba
Yes,
up
I-
in
Probably
Wilkins.
Patrick way long. He was the
Yeah.
That is it.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not gonna have an issue with any of
Can you
that.
say it again, please, Patrick?
Wei Wong. I don't know how to spell his last name.
Okay.
It's WAIWONG.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And the first name's Patcha, PATCHA.
Oh, Pacha.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome.
you're going to add that.
Of course I
Okay,
am.
Okay, thank you. I guess we are all set.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right,
Well-
Lonnie,
Congratulations, Andrew.
Thank you, Jesse.
I'll have his parole agreement over to you shortly.
Okay, thank you. Have a great
Yeah.
day, everyone.
You too.
You too.
Jesse.
All right. Bear with me for just a minute.
No problem.
Me too.
There we go. Okay, you good?
Good morning, Daniel. This is Mary Jane Ainsworth from the Parole Board. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. It's just going to be a little bit before we get to Levi's hearing. Attorney Stern is still in a court hearing.
Okay.
So these are public hearings. You are all set to be here. That is fine.
All right, thank you.
Yep. All right. So for everybody, I just heard from Joshua Stern, who is Levi Davis's attorney. He is in a sentencing hearing right now. And he will be here as soon as he can be. And then, so Marble Valley, is there any way we could do Bernard Mitchell in the meantime?
MJ, I'll get him right up for you.
All right, thanks, Jesse.
Give me just a moment.
Yeah, because I saw Nick Daigle's here. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning.
I saw you in the background. I figure we might as well, we can. We'll get some of these done, and then I see Meg still in the background, so we could probably do the PBU potentially too. We'll see. That'll work.
Don't reflect on the waiting, so. Up for yes.
Something must be going on behind that wall.
You think?
So Conrad, just to give you a quick update, we'll be doing Levi's hearing in a little bit. His attorney's running late.
Okay. All right.
All right.
I'm here with Bernard Mitchell.
Okay, we'll start his hearing. Today's date is October 8th, 2024, and we are doing Marble Valley Regional Correctional Facility hearings via Microsoft Teams. This is a parole hearing for Bernard Mitchell. Present is Parole Board Vice Chair Pat Bushy, Parole Board members Katie Aiken and Tom Giffen, the offender Bernard Mitchell, caseworker Dane Cooley, probation parole officer Nicholas Daigle, and Parole Board Director Mary Jane Ainsworth.
Thank you, Mary Jane. Good morning, Bernard.
Good morning.
Have you seen a copy of the parole summary?
Yes, I just seen it like not even 5 minutes ago. I was just made aware of it.
Okay. Dane, he didn't get it ahead of time?
It was more like 45 minutes ago. I did give it to him. I've been off a few days.
Okay.
He was aware of the hearing. He was given a copy of the hearing and asked if he had any questions, and he didn't provide any questions other than he did have a lot of comments that he wasn't happy with.
Okay.
Not to interrupt you guys, but there's a the rec liaison is outside. I just spoke with him. This was literally not even 5 minutes ago.
Okay. Well, you can agree to have this hearing today, Bernard, or you're supposed to have the paperwork 7 days before your hearing. So you can either go ahead with the hearing today, or if you want to have time to review the paperwork and discuss it with whomever, you can postpone this hearing. It's entirely up to you.
Yes, because I'm I've never been on parole before, and so I'm not exactly aware of the proper procedures that's supposed to occur. But when I have my wife look up the information for me, or when I talk to other individuals, from my understanding is that we're supposed to correspond with the caseworkers, and I barely correspond with our caseworkers, so I don't know how I'm supposed to how do I tackle that obstacle.
Okay. Well, do you want to postpone this hearing so you have time to talk to other people, or?
Yeah, yes, what are the people that I actually can correspond with about this?
Well, your caseworker, the author of your parole summary, and discuss whatever you want to discuss, with them, what's in there.
And the author of the summary would be him, or will it be someone else? Because he gives me the impression that it's other people that's writing this, and then he just prints it. So I don't know.
So Mr. Mitchell, you're gonna, I believe caseworker Cooley and PO DAIGLE are the authors of the report.
Okay.
You would talk with them, and there is if you have concerns about the casework and the procedures, I believe there is a grievance process that you can follow too.
Okay.
But when you do review this report and you come from the hearing, the board members will talk to you about any potential release plan, what programming you've done, all of that. And then you'll also have an opportunity to present some of that release plan information to the board at that time as well.
Okay, so
Does that help a little bit?
Yes, ma'am. How long would this be postponed for?
I could postpone it for a whole month, or I could postpone it for a week if that would give you enough time, that 7 days, to review the paperwork and talk with folks.
Okay, I think that should be an efficient amount of time. Will I be able to?
A week or a month?
A week, I think. Should be.
I could do next Tuesday if that works for Dane and Nicholas.
Yes, that's. She's talking to you guys.
Yeah, works for me.
Give me just a second. I have to go to Waterbury next week.
I have other dates too, but that was just the first one that I could think of that I know is a small schedule.
Tuesday is fine with me.
Okay. We'll put him on at 9 o'clock Tuesday morning. We'll put him on right first thing before some of the other hearings.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, not a problem.
I'm sorry about the inconvenience.
No,
that's okay.
Fine.
No problem.
And I also want to state a lot of the grievances are now populated into the parole summary. That's not especially we put in, but it is populated. So I just wanted him to know that too.
Okay.
Because we don't really edit or put those in, but that it's in there.
And with there'll be some opportunities, Mr. Mitchell, for you to speak to the board too during the hearing as well.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. I appreciate you being open, and we'll see you next week.
All right, thank you so much.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
We're still waiting for Attorney Stern. Dean, would it be possible to do the update for Rodney Kenney next?
I'll call him down right now.
Okay, thank you.
Now, I didn't have any paperwork for him, correct?
Nope, there is no paperwork.
Okay.
It's just a verbal update of the status of his residence.
Very good. I will call him down.
And Mr. Wilder, we're still waiting for Attorney Stern.
All right, no problem.
It's a waiting day.
Rodney Kenny is here.
Okay. Give me 1 second and I will start this. Today's date is October 8th, 2024, and we are doing Marble Valley Regional Correctional Facility hearings via Microsoft Teams. This is a status hearing for Rodney Kenny, who is still pending release to an approved residence. Present is Parole Board Vice Chair Pat Bushy, Parole Board members Tom Giffen and Katie Aiken. The offender, Rodney Kenny, caseworker Dean Cooley, probation parole officer Meg Champine, and Parole Board Director Mary Jane Ainsworth.
Thank you, Mary Jane. Good morning, Rodney.
Morning.
Let's see. Meg, should we start with you for an update as far as housing?
Sure, I think that probably makes sense.
Okay.
So I have my case notes open here too, just so I can refer back to those. But prior to Rodney being granted parole, I had investigated several residences that he had proposed. So we were already, I would say, in the works of getting him released on furlough. So there were several residences I had looked into. Since being granted parole, there were 2 main residences that I had done in residence investigation for. Those did not work out. He is on the wait list for Dismiss House. I also work part-time at Marble Valley, so I ran into Rodney at the kitchen, suggested he put in an application for Dismiss House. So he went back and met with Dane and asked for those applications. He got those in. As far as I know, he's still on the wait list for that. Part of the problem, though, is Rodney does not have a favorable history with the Department of Corrections, and so he's not a priority for Dismiss House given the lack of compliance. So I don't know where he is on that wait list, unfortunately. I tried to get an answer on that from Eric before Eric left right before this, but I wasn't able to snag him. But so we have been looking at residences. Part of the problem, though, is that a lot of the, I would say, peers that Rodney has are also pretty criminal, to be honest. So the last one that I had reached out to, she had lied about who the maintenance person was. The building inspector that I had chatted with told me it was a completely different person. So I'm not getting the right names or phone numbers. So when I call the city inspector, or I'm sorry, the city assessor, I'm given completely different information. So I'm happy to continue to explore residences, but as far as the private ones that I'm given, I'm not being given the correct information. So we are still looking at residences. He's still on the dismiss wait list, but I've not gotten any solid leads this so far.
Okay, thank you. Dane, did you want to add anything?
No, Rodney is ER free. He's in a good unit. He's not a problem in the facility. I haven't heard any updates. Usually Dismiss will give me an update if he's getting close, but as far as I know, the list is long. The last I was told, it could be a year wait to get an opening.
Okay. Thank you. And Rodney, are you not giving Meg correct information?
No, I gave all the information that I was given. So I don't know. I don't know anything about any of that. What she mentioned, nobody got back to me about any of that. I'm not sure which resident she's talking about. I don't know. I didn't know anything about any building inspectors or anything like that.
Okay. Meg, have you had a conversation with Rodney about any of this?
So the last time I spoke with Rodney when I was working overtime, I let him know, I think the last one was his mother-in-law was in a subsidized unit, and I let him know that we can't approve that because he wasn't on the subsidy. I don't know that I spoke with him about the last one. But Dane definitely knew about that because I denied the residents and let Dane know. But I mean, Rodney might not have been aware of the information. I mean, his friends may have just given him whoever's phone number. They might not have been honest. I'm not sure, but yeah, I was definitely not given honest information when I was investigating those residences.
So Rodney, do you have any residences that you can propose?
The ones that I did propose were not accepted. My friend John, that I worked at Karis Reels with John, and his residence, his landlord said it was okay that I go there. And when she talked with Meg, it wasn't okay after that. So, no, I don't have any other residences that I could submit. I submitted the residences that were safe for me anyways. And other than that, I don't, there's nothing else I can do. I've been waiting for Dismiss House. Basically, I'm basically under the impression that I'll max out here at the jail.
Which right now I think is March is his max date.
March 29th, which will be less with earned time.
But we did parole him, so you hate to have somebody max out incarcerated.
Well, he's not on parole. He's not on parole till he signs the parole summary.
Right. But we approve parole.
Oh, does that affect earned time then? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying for him to max out, it would be a shame for him to max out after we granted him parole. I know he hasn't signed his paperwork yet because he's waiting for a residence, but it's just too bad we can't find him a residence.
Yeah. I think Meg was talking about the Proctor. Did you put one in Proctor?
Yeah, Jess Taylor's.
Yeah, that had a landlord issue because the name she gave wasn't the one that the landlord didn't have a property manager name that or whatever.
Okay, I wasn't aware of that.
All right, yeah.
Maybe, Rodney, you should go back to whoever was giving you this information and get the correct information and get it to Meg.
Actually, what I did hear about that scenario, if that was the Proctor thing, was it wasn't a good thing. It wasn't a good thing to it wouldn't have been a good thing for me. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they said we have to somehow get around your PL. Right then, I knew that something was wrong. I said, you can't go around. This is not a scenario where we can go around my PL. And that was the last time I talked with her, actually.
Well, that's good, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Board members, did you have any questions?
Yeah, Megan, what was the issue with the one Rodney mentioned about John? What was that scenario?
Oh, when I spoke to the landlord, she said it was a 1-bedroom unit and she wouldn't approve for anybody else to stay there.
Got it. So Rodney, you have those were your two spots that you had that
It was my stepmother's and John Devino's, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a place where I could stay for a couple of weeks.
The CJSC stuff is not available because of his time, or?
Is what?
Oh, the community justice centers, places, they don't have any beds?
I wasn't aware of any transitional housing programs through them.
All right. No, I have nothing else.
Thank you. Katie, did you have anything?
No, I don't have anything.
Okay. I guess we'll have to stay on this status and check in with you in another month and get another update and hope that, Rodney can come up with some other names or move up on the dismiss list.
You don't have any money to rent?
No. Thank you very much.
Well, all right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Dane. Thanks, Megan.
All right, so we'll be doing Levi Davis next.
They're doing Levi now. They're doing Levi now. All right. We are there. Remember how to unmute stuff, right? No.
And Levi is on his way up to see us.
Okay, sounds good.
Is it muted? No, it's not muted.
No, you are good.
Sorry, I'm trying to help my boss.
No, it's all good.
Okay. I had to handle some business.
Right. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning.
Is Mr. Wilder going to be a witness for disposition or for evidence?
For disposition.
Okay, perfect. I thought so, but I wanted to ask before we got started. And we'll get started just as soon as Mr. Davis arrives.
All right, everybody.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Davis.
Morning.
If everybody is ready, we can start the hearing.
I am ready.
Okay. Just watching for, okay, my chair's ready too. She stopped staring at the screen. So today's date is October 8th, 2024, and we are doing Marble Valley Regional Correctional Facility hearings via Microsoft Teams. This is a parole violation hearing for Levi Davis. Present is Parole Board Vice Chair Pat Bushy, Parole Board members Tom Giffen and Katie Aiken, Parolee Levi Davis, Probation Parole Officer Conrad Cody, Assistant Attorney General John Lacey, Attorney Josh Stern for Mr. Davis. Daniel Wilder is here as a disposition witness, and Parole Board Director Mary Jane Ainsworth.
Okay, Pat, before you start the hearing, I just want to self-disclose. I've known Levi Davis a long time, and I don't know if that'd be a conflict for me being here or not, but I'll leave it up to his attorney and for Levi. But I certainly have known Levi for a few years.
Are there any objections
No.
to Mr. Giffen?
I don't have any objection. It sounds like my client does not either.
Okay, thank you. So, good morning, Levi.
Morning.
This is a violation hearing. We're going to hold this hearing in two parts. The first part, we're going to talk about the alleged violation to your parole agreement. I will read this condition to you and you will either admit or deny violating it. If you deny it, we will ask your PO to tell us about it and we'll make a determination based on that. In the second part, we're going to talk about disposition or what we're going to do as far as your parole status is concerned. Anytime you need to speak with counsel, just let us know and we'll make sure you're put in a secure room so you can talk to him confidentially. Okay?
Yeah.
Could you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear the information you provide in this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. And Conrad, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear the information you provide in this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. It is condition number 1 that you allegedly violated. So I need to tell you that it's condition number 1 of your parole agreement. So anything you say here cannot be held against you unless you testify in a criminal case and you say something different there than you say here. It can be used to challenge that testimony. Okay? So condition number 1 is you shall not commit any act punishable by law, including violations of court orders. Do you admit or deny violating that condition?
Admit.
Okay.
I'll make a motion based on his own admission that we find Levi Davis guilty of violating condition number 1 and move to disposition.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to find Levi Davis guilty based on his own admission of violating condition number 1 of his parole agreement. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. It is unanimous. We will go on to disposition. And Conrad, what are your thoughts?
Levi's new minimum is November 21st. I've had a conversation with him when I was doing overtime at the facility. I want to say it was Sunday. My plan right now is if his parole gets revoked and he is put back on furlough, to pull him out on his minimum and then work on a 3 to 6 month plan, short term, and then put him back in front of the parole board with a positive recommendation. He's stated that he has a residence. He has talked to me 2-3 times, once of them at length, about issues concerning sobriety and what he can and cannot do. He did mention to me that drinking is an issue. I just got this today, which is unfortunate because I would have forwarded it to the board, but he does have a recovery plan. Looks like he's constructed with, and Levi, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like it was corrected with Lewis from the Turning Point. So that's my plan going forward. If his parole gets revoked, if it doesn't get revoked, then that would be looking for a couple additional conditions to aid in supervision while he's out in the community.
Thank you. Mr. Stern.
Thank you. So, Mr. Cote, a couple of questions just about Mr. Davis's. Well, first of all, are you aware of whether he's had issues while in the facility since being incarcerated?
Right off the top of my head, I can't say. I know he's been part of the paint crew. His behavior, from what I understand from his caseworker, we have done a little bit of co-case management. It's been, he's been towing the line.
So it sounds like he's at least been doing what he's supposed to since being incarcerated, correct?
That's what I'm understanding, yes.
And have you been made aware as well about whether he has engaged in any coursework while at the facility?
Levi and I have talked about this 2 or 3 times. Is that not correct, Levi?
Yep.
And so are you aware he's completed a course in anger management at the facility?
I do understand that, yes.
Okay, as well as a course in substance abuse and alcohol?
That's correct.
Okay, and a number of other courses related to his business plan, is that accurate?
Levi's given me a complete transcript, a complete transcript of what he's completed on the tablets, yes.
Okay.
128 of them.
And so you mentioned a recovery plan, and I actually did, I believe that was attached to the letter from Lewis that I submitted to the board, so that should be a part of the hearing folder at this point. But based on your review of that recovery plan, does it appear to be a good plan?
I only had a chance to take a cursory look at it, unfortunately. It just dropped in my mailbox. So.
Are you aware that Mr. Davis started a prescription for antabuse while at the facility?
That I do not know. He self-admitted that, but I can't confirm that. That's a HIPAA issue.
I see. And if he had in fact done that, is that something that you think would help him in controlling his sobriety on the outside?
I would hope that it would, yes.
Okay. And has he made you aware of where he intends to live?
Yes, we had that conversation on Sunday.
Okay, and where is that?
I believe he said Whipple Hollow Road. He's going to live with his mom.
Yeah, with my mother.
Okay. And you don't have any reason to believe that that would not be an appropriate residence for him?
At this time, I do not.
It sounds like your primary concerns with Mr. Davis relate to alcohol use. Is that correct?
My primary concerns would relate around substance abuse use and, violent and threatening behavior.
Okay. And is it also your opinion, though, that helping to manage his substance use would help him also avoid violent and threatening behavior?
That'd be my hope, yes.
Okay. All right. So, and by the way, you mentioned you'd be requesting a couple additional conditions if he is continued on parole. I forget if you said what those were. Can you clarify?
I have not stated them yet.
Okay. What conditions would you be looking for if you were to continue on parole?
Well, I would be looking for electronic monitoring in the form of scram. In an issue to, help him utilizing as a tool to help him maintain his sobriety. And a condition around no threatening of violent behavior.
Okay. And so with those conditions in place, you'd be able to know where he is and you'd be able to know if he's using alcohol in violation of any other conditions, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. I don't have any further questions, so I'll turn it over to the state.
You. Now, Daniel, did you have something you wanted to add?
I'm sorry, me?
So
Yes.
Okay.
And I did, yes, sorry, I didn't have any more questions for Mr. Cote, but I am intending to call Mr. Wilder
okay.
as a
I'm sorry.
witness.
I thought you were done.
No, I'm not, but it shouldn't take long. If we're ready, I'm happy to call Mr. Wilder now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so the defense calls Daniel Wilder.
Yep.
Okay. I don't have to swear him in because this is
Just for
an
disposition.
evidentiary.
Okay,
Oh.
understood. All right, Mr. Wilder, good morning.
Good morning.
Can you tell me how you know Levi Davis?
I probably 20 years. I believe I met him in 2003 when I was incarcerated. When he was out on parole the last time, he came to me looking for work. I have a few properties. I have a rental real estate business as well as a plumbing and heating business. Since I've been out, I got my master's plumbing license, my air conditioning license, my heating license, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I have 3 properties that could certainly use his attention that I know would keep him employed for at least 9 months. I have 3 buildings that need to be taken down, and I have 3 properties with multiple trees that need to be taken down. He is insured. I have his insurance paperwork. He's $1 million insurance coverage for tree taking down. Other than that, any other questions, but that's really all I have to offer.
So it sounds like Mr. Davis has done work for you in the past.
Yeah,
Is that correct?
Phenomenal worker. Yep. He outshined 2 of my guys in just the short term he was working with me this past summer doing tree work for me.
Okay. And was that just on your properties or were you also using him as a subcontractor for other customers?
I was just subcontracting him through because I have 2 companies. The plumbing business has one, but I had him working on the plumbing business one. Currently, I have 2 other rental properties that need trees taken down and buildings, garages.
And so you never had any issues with Mr. Davis when he was working for you?
Absolutely not. No, like I said, he outworked 2 of my guys. I was so impressed. I was very disappointed when he went away.
And is it fair to say that if he gets out, he has work waiting for him with you?
With me, absolutely. We still have an outstanding contract to finish the Kingsley Court project. There's only 2 trees left there, and then he gets another $1,500, the other half of his contract.
Okay. And so would you be able to essentially keep him occupied full time or?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like I said, I mean, I know for at least 9 months I could keep him busy, and I'm always, looking for new properties. So.
Okay. Anything else you think it'd be helpful for us to know?
Off the top of my head, not right now.
All right. Nothing further.
Nothing further.
Thank you. Katie, did you have any questions or?
Not on the testimony we heard, no.
Okay. Tom?
Yeah, Conrad, will Levi have to be required to do any programming?
he doesn't have the time inside to, engage in
Mhm.
RRP currently.
So he won't be doing it on the street then?
The RRP program that was at PMP, unfortunately, October 1st expired, the contract. There is talk about something coming out in the near future, but there's no timeline for that.
I'd
If
be
it does
willing
come
to
out,
do it if they do have one on the street. I'd be willing to do it.
that's good to hear, Levi. Levi, so how are you gonna get, so you want to live in Whipple Hollow Road? How are you gonna get back
Yeah,
and forth?
me and my mother have the farmhouse now. And we were in the process before I came in of fixing it up, and I got a lot of the stuff done before I came in, so she was able to move over there. And since she's been there, she's gotten pretty much everything all done in there. So
How would you get back and forth to work?
I have my own vehicles. Last time I was out, I did the crash program and I got my license, and I have a registered and legal vehicle.
Okay. All right. And now I heard you self-disclose about the interviews that you, that's not being used a lot. That's something that was your
I've been
decision?
taking it, but it works wonders, to be honest. I wish I would have been taking it a long time ago.
Okay, they got no further questions, Pat.
Okay, if there are no further questions, what's the wish of the board?
I have, could I just, I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm sorry, John.
That's okay. I don't have any questions for the witnesses, but I feel it necessary to state the obvious, that he's on parole, and I'm looking at the list of things that happened while he's out on parole, including up to smashing a guy in the face with the handle of an axe, which he just pled guilty to.
No, I did not.
Well, he pled guilty to parts of the docket that included those facts. Maybe not that specific crime. However, if you're on parole and he's convicted for a crime, our recommendation is that you revoke his parole. That's the point. Thank you.
Thank you. What's the wish of the board?
I'll make a motion for deliberative session.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to go into deliberative session to discuss Levi's case. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. It is unanimous. We'll be right back.
Yeah. No. I didn't get done till like 2:30, 3 o'clock. Late finished Bravo pod and started in Charlie and Delta. Yeah, we still painted them. Well, just so it looks good. Yeah. Two-part poly. Yeah, that'd be good. Or something just to rough the surface up. Give it something to stick to. Since baby smooth metal. No.
Try. You're not an angry, right? Yeah. Just the matter one, not to do that. So no. Get it done. Read this. Yeah, I guess we're gonna go in the long or Carlos. No, I do. I don't. I think we're out for me. You left it out front. I think we did. Yeah. Sorry, I can come grab it from here in a little bit. My bad. No, you're good. Hey Mac, you still in the system or are you out of it? I'll bring one out to you. It should be a fairly easy one. I'll look and see when the last time we did it was, but it's for Leon. It just sounds ridiculous. If you hit somebody with an axe, they would be dead. Not true. Well,
The board is on their way back. We are back on the record.
Thank you. So it's a unanimous decision that we will continue Levi on parole with a reprimand. From the testimony of everybody involved, Levi has a residence, employment, and he does have a recovery plan that will benefit his sobriety. He will need to serve until his minimum, which is November 21st, 2024. So he will be continued. Conrad, we are going to add condition number 13 that he shall permit the use of the electronic monitoring as directed, and he'll abide by all the rules and conditions of the electronic monitoring. And you wanted the no threatening and violent behavior condition, and that would be covered under condition number 1.
Okay.
So he would, and if anything like that happens, it will be covered under condition number 1.
Understood. Thank you.
Okay. You were all set?
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
everybody. Conrad, I'll be in touch.
Thank you all.
All right.
Thank you, Levi.
And I'll be in touch with that paperwork probably this afternoon.
Thank you, MJ.
Thank you.
Yep. And with that,
And thanks,
unless
Dan.
there's, oh, sorry,
good?
go ahead.
Oh, I just said thank you, Dan.
Oh, thank you, guys.
And we are good, John. That was our last hearing for today. So unless there's anything else, I'm going to conclude today's hearings.
I have nothing else.
All right.
MJ, you made me out to look like a liar. We did end up early today. I thought we were going to go long.